Today we're going to discuss financing vehicles and how to buy a car. So I have two younger sisters, age 21 and 23, and they want to buy a new car so bad. And they always ask me questions like, Shannon, how am I supposed to go about buying a car? Can you explain financing to me? What does this interest rate mean? How do I get car insurance? And I'm like, okay. So if my sisters at that age are feeling like they aren't prepared to go out and buy a car and understand the full depth of what they're committing to, I assume that other people don't either. Truth is, I didn't know how to buy a car before I bought one. I think I got my first car when I graduated college. So I was like 21. And that was my first car purchase with just myself without having my parents co-sign for me. So there's a few things to consider when you're buying a car. So I've always tried to keep it simple. You're buying a car, the amount that you borrow is called the principal. So if you buy a car for $5,000, $5,000 is the principal. Interest is the penalty that you pay for borrowing money from a lender. So if your interest is 10%, then you're looking at about $500 of additional cost to pay the car back. So you buy a car for $5,000, you have 10% interest, you're going to pay back $5,500. Okay. And then what'll happen is they'll divide that up over however many months it is that you're going to finance the car. I love Susie Orman, and she typically says you want to keep it 3 to 5 years. Anything over that is just too long, and realistically it is. If you're going to pay for a car or get a car and extend the payment out to 6, 7 years just to get a lower payment, then you probably couldn't afford it to start with. So I don't recommend that. We all know, and if you don't know, well, no, we don't all know, which is why I'm doing this video. When you purchase a brand new car, it immediately depreciates. So it's best to buy a used car. There's plenty of great used car lots. We're not going to discuss that today. We're just talking strictly about how to buy a car. So you're going to go, and typically I recommend that you get your financing through your bank or local credit union. Credit unions are great for car loans. They typically offer bi-weekly payments, bi-monthly payments, or once-a-month payments. And if you do bi-monthly or bi-weekly payments, I'll take that back, not bi-monthly. Bi-weekly payments are going to help you pay your car principal down faster, the principal and the interest. And the faster you pay down the principal, the less interest you have. That's the way that works. If I'm going too fast, comment below and we can, do some videos on that later. So you go, you borrow the money, or else you'll go to the bank and you'll say, hey, I want to buy a car for $5,000. Can we get me approved? I need to know if you can approve me. When they are trying to approve you, they're going to collect some basic information like your name, address, your social, your income information. They need to make sure that if you're going to borrow this money that you can afford to pay it back. And then they'll either tell you yes or no. So in this predicament, we're going to say, they say, yay, congratulations, you're going to get to buy a car. So then you can go to the car dealer and you can find the car that you want for the amount that they approve you for. Your bank will let you know what the car payment would be for the different amounts. So if you know, let's say the bank approves you for 10 and you only want to spend 8, then you need to be mindful of that. However, to help you leverage a little bit better, you want to go in with your own financing so that you can just find the car that you want and go on about your day, so you don't have to worry about them running your credit a lot. We do see that often with car dealerships. You'll have 5, 10 inquiries because they were trying to find a lender who would approve you. And so you'll go and you'll get the car. You'll have the negotiations down for what you want. I do recommend if you do buy a car that you always get gap insurance if you can qualify for it. Gap insurance is really important. What it does is for some reason you get in a car accident and let's say the value of the car and the balance that you owe is not the same, then the gap insurance will cover the gap of what's owed after the insurance pays their portion. So that'll make sure that you don't have to refinance a car after you don't have it anymore in the event it ever gets totaled. So the car can help you that way. I'm trying to make sure that I go through everything because, I don't want to miss anything. And unfortunately, I don't have like somebody, my sister's here to say, hey, Shannon, what about this? So I'm trying to remember the conversation that I had with them. If there's anything that I'm saying and you're like, Shannon, this just does not make sense, comment below. Let me know. I'll work on a response or, videos to make sure that I can help you guys, because I can remember being graduating from college. I was so excited. I had a job. I was single. I didn't have any kids. You can tell me nothing. I was more than ready to burn that check, and I hadn't even got my first one yet. So I went out and I bought a new car. And now at 34, I'm like, well, maybe, or 33, I should, I'm like, just give me a cash car. I don't want no car payment. I don't want nothing to do with it. I have school loans, and, life just happens. Of course, on a sidebar, I encourage everybody, get a car that you can afford to pay off quickly. Or if you can save money to just buy a car outright, then do that too. I think we are confused as a generation where we just say, hey, if I have a nice looking car, then that's a representation of my life or my financial status. And that's not always true. A lot of people literally are house poor because they're paying for a car payment, $500, $600, $700 for a car payment. You can get a mortgage for $8. So why go and have a car payment for that much? But that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. So thank you for taking the time to sit here with me to hear my opinion on the best way to purchase a car. And please comment, like, subscribe, share with your family and friends, and I will try to do a post once a week at the very minimum. Thanks again. Bye.